New targets assembled. Amy wins again. Targets installed. Power on. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, welcome back to another episode. I am back at Whitewater. I have decided I am going to change the lighting on the boulders. They're just too kind of like glowy. They don't need to be that bright. I wonder if it would be easier if I remove this ramp, because accessing this screw is a pain in the butt. Anyway, I'm gonna fudge with that for a bit. I didn't give up on my LED strip, as a matter of fact. For whatever reason, it just, my little 5-volt battery pack here was not illuminating it. But I was sure that this was gonna light up with a 5-volt source or 6-volt source. So I kind of connected it directly to a GI bulb in the machine when it was powered on, and it lit up. So, because I had this in my Pinball Magic lighting up the back, but I ended up removing it. But I am going to now cut up a little matrix piece here. I got a female here, and I got a end of the wires here. So what I'm going to do is desolder this honkin' huge wire off of the strip that is like 10 feet long. Add this little small wire with the connector. This connector will go here, and then I will secure my strip to the back somehow. The adhesive is long gone, so I guess I could get a new piece. But the adhesive on these strips just never lasts. That's what I found. So even a new strip wouldn't be a long-term solution. I'll have to figure something out, but I'm going to work on some lighting and then see what else I can do. Maybe paint, maybe what else? I had something else in mind. I forget now. But that's what's going on today. Just some tinkering. Yeah, so I checked my planetary pinball for my art blades, and they're still probably a week or two out. So if I want to put everything back together again, then I have to know that I'm going to have to remove the play field in order to install the side art decals, which is fine, except I've never done it before. I don't know how to deal with those little locking mechanisms. I think you just kind of need a second set of hands in order to pull that off, but I could maybe set the play field on the table beside. There should be enough wire slack in order to do that. But yeah, kind of got to really do things in a certain order, or else you'll be going backwards before you go forwards. And you know, if you've been watching this channel, I do that fairly regularly, so I'm not opposed to it, but I prefer not to if I don't have to. Anyway, I'll be back. All right, check this out. Can you see the mountain that I have not done yet? It's like glowing. These ones are reasonable brightness. So what I actually had to do is I thought that going from natural white to warm white would dim it down a bit, but it did not. It didn't make much of a difference at all. So I actually went old school LED in place of 2 SMD. So this is the original OG LED that I typically don't use anymore, but I needed to find an LED that wasn't as bright. Typically not what you go for, but I like that look much better. These just look like there's something wrong with those mountains. These look like, yeah, just enough illumination to not look like it's about to, you know, erupt like a volcano. Alright, I really did spend an ungodly amount of time messing with lighting, but not only that, I did really spend a little more time trimming this and fitting it and dremeling this hole a little bit more and removing and trimming and removing and trimming just to make sure that there was enough space in between here and the rail for my art blades. So I think I finally got it. I'm going to take it on and off a few times. It just kind of like seems to go on differently every time, but now I think I'm finally happy with it. And as you can see, the lighting is not as offensive. It's much better. Although if you look really closely, it does look like it's kind of a little bit flickery. I don't know why that is. I just, actually there was 7 LEDs in this area, so I just removed 3. That was the only thing I did. I did try some warm LEDs, that didn't work. I tried the original LED style, that did not work. They really flickered. But, so that was the solution. I removed 3 of the 7 LEDs under that mountain. And then, as you can see, I did get my LED strip at the back. So it turns out that it probably actually is a 12 volt LED strip, and since I hooked it up to the 5 volt general illumination, it's not glaringly bright. It's somewhat dim actually, but it actually works for what I want. It is, let's try and get this back on here. It is exactly what I'm looking for. It's just enough illumination there to not be offensive. If I had that whole strip illuminated at 12 volts, it probably would just glow like the old mountains did. So I'm very happy. Honestly, this has probably taken me a solid hour or more to get this the way I want it, because I did end up removing this ramp, these 2 screws and these 2 screws to get at this boulder, because it was just not able to get the screw in there very consistently straight. So I did fight with that for a bit, but there, it was worth it in the end. I'm much happier with how this looks now. And I remembered I have to sort out the issue with the whirlpool ramp. So what it was is that the ball got stuck in there because the whirlpool ramp is not perfectly centered in the PCB for the lamp board. And I remember having that on my old Whirlwind or Whitewater as well. So I'm gonna probably just see if I can move the PCB board a little bit so that, like, I can, how did I do that? I was able to like manipulate this so that it would kind of click into place, into the hole, but it was not very comfortable, and then it would pop back out, and I'm sure that would be an issue again in the future. So I'm gonna see if I can just move the PCB board just a smidge so that the whirlpool ramp fits in there comfortably, and then yeah, that should solve that. There we go, removing the subway for the second time. I've removed the left boulder about 8 times, removed the right boulders 2 or 3 times. This is part of the process. Might have to remove Bigfoot too at some point, but anyway, now you can see what is going on here. The whirlpool is not centered, so I was able to kind of pull this down from above and click it in like that. See that? Although that kind of warps the opening a little bit, and it's not comfortable, so I'm going to try and move the PCB just over a smidge, and then that will never happen again. Alright, so I messed with this enough and drilled 2 new holes just a little bit to the left of these guys. I lined it up, should be good. Hopefully it is. Alright, there we go. That's nice and centered now. And that whirlpool should drain successfully every time now. I really had an issue with this on my first one, and the whirlpool spout there was really cracked and broken, and I think again this is kind of a common thing on whirlwinds. Whitewater, whirlwind, whirlpool, holy crap, that's too many similar words to keep track of. But anyway, yeah, it's good now. Alright, I figured while I was in here I would have another look to see if I can find my missing connector. And check it out. It was tucked up way in there. I'm not even sure what it is for yet. There it is though. It's F with orange and Whoa, that was close. Where does this go? Looks like it is for the Optos, for right there. Okay, cool. Well, that's a nice find. Okay. All right, just got back from having a little dinner, and I think I've decided I'm gonna say screw it, and I'm gonna put everything together, and we're gonna play some friggin' whitewater. When I get my other crap in the mail, I'll deal with it at that time. I'm not dawdling around and doting around and piddling around any longer. We're putting this bad boy together. Plastic installed, holes filled for ramp, shooter ramp installed, Insanity Falls ramp installed, back boulders check, new targets assembled, Amy wins again, targets installed, brand new balls installed, power on, press start, and motherfucking game on. Alright, so here it is. We are live. I've got everything assembled. There's a few more things obviously that have to happen, but this is going to be official first game. We kind of mucked around in the last video. Threw the ball around with my hands. But this is for reals. Everything is installed and untested, so we have no idea if this is going to work or not. But here we go. Let's see what happens. I'm excited. This is it's like nostalgic, very nostalgic. Even though I had this game not even all that long ago, a few years, 3-4 years, whatever, but alright, let's plunge. Very skillful. I got the very tight spring on there, so okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, whirlpool. Drained okay. How's my kick out? That's a nice little kick out. A little bit spongy when it hit that. A little bit of give there, but that's okay. Let's go disaster drop. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough what's working and what is not. Let's try the drop catch. Okay, well, we want to start a mode. I thought I hit the green target there. Maybe I wired them up wrong or something, because I'm hitting those green targets and they ain't registering. Doesn't seem like they are. I thought they made noise though. Alright, let's go whirlpool challenge. I was pretty careful about how I wired up those green targets, but clearly are not registering properly. And I'm clearly not making the whirlpool shot. Let's try this. Okay, that's very friendly. I mean, do I have the machine jacked up as high as? No, I will have it jacked up higher once I get this into its happy place in the main games room. There we go. Oh, okay, cool. That worked nice. How do I start a mode again? Wasn't it by doing what I just did? I feel like if I hit the light whirlpool when flashing, that should have started a mode, no? Flippers are feeling good. First time really giving them a test. Okay. Maybe because I wired up those green switches incorrectly. Maybe it's affecting my light whirlpool switch. So it doesn't seem to be working if I hit light whirlpool in the upper playfield, the lit shot, that should start a mode, right? That's if I hit it. So, nothing major, of course. Just we know it was working before I quote-unquote fixed it. There we go. Okay, so maybe it is... Pretty sure I connected everything, so I don't think it's that. So, everything's feeling pretty smooth, playing pretty smooth, everything's nice and snappy. Just got a few switches. Slingshots are nice and sensitive. Oh, the Insanity Falls ramp is working awesome. Whirlpool's working fine. Alright, so clearly I got a few things to sort out, but how do you like them apples? There is the first play test game since the shop job. While we listen to some end game music, we'll just take a little quick tour. There's the nice orange flasher dome. I like the way things are looking. Coming along. Still domeless over here. But yeah. The pinball pimp decals are nice. The targets are nice. They'll look even better once I get them working and the mantis protectors in behind them. Yeah. Alright, so maybe it's you. Maybe you're the switch. Anyway, I'll investigate. But yeah, so there it is. We're getting somewhat near the finish line. The next things I'll be doing are probably painting the head and installing color DMD. Yeah. So I'm sure there will be more stuff as well. And on top of that, I gotta wait for some parts, but I think that'll be the end of this video. If not, there may be some bonus footage. I don't know, but I think it's a good time to wrap up. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.